Urbanization's Impact on Soil Quality by Shannon and Thomas Carter. What even is urbanization? Urbanization is a population shift from rural to urban areas or the gradual increase in the proportion of people living in an urban area. But what does that even mean? Well, in layman's terms, urbanization is the movement of life into cities. And in the past 200 years, urbanization has increased dramatically. Every continent and every country has at least one major city covering greenscapes with concrete. But how does that relate to soil quality? We hypothesize that in urban ecosystems, there would be higher levels of nitrates and phosphates and lower ammonium levels, whereas a rural ecosystem would have moderate levels of both nitrates and phosphates, but higher ammonium levels. To prove this, we looked at 3 sites of soil collection: Oregon Ridge, a rural community, Hillsdale Park, and Leakin Park, which are both in a downtown setting. We found that Oregon Ridge had very little nitrate concentrations compared to Hillsdale and Leakin, but when compared to ammonium, Oregon Ridge had very high amounts of ammonium compared to Leakin and Hillsdale, which had very, very low amounts of ammonium. And looking into the average amount of phosphate concentration, we could definitely see that Oregon Ridge has very, very low amounts of phosphates in the soil, whereas Hillsdale especially has very high amounts of phosphates in the soil. But what does this mean? For urban ecosystems, excessive nitrates and phosphates in the urban ecosystems correlates to high runoff in urban areas have less vegetation, which not only means less plants using the nutrients for growth, but less stability in the soil to hold soil in place to prevent runoff and erosion. And in rural ecosystems, lower levels of nitrates and phosphates indicates that plants are using up the natural nutrients. The higher levels of ammonium indicate to us that the nitrogen cycle is in prime condition, with many nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil constantly working. What can you do to help? Plant trees. Planting trees is always the answer to an environmental problem like this, and it's a great way to help the environment. Reduce litter and spills. And as always, promote environmental awareness and make sure people know what's going on. Thank you so much.